Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Mystery Rewind. Today we will go through the adventure thriller movie Alita, Battle Angel, which is released in 2019. Leave a comment if explanation is okay or any changes needed. Spoilers ahead, enjoy and take care of yourself. In the year 2563, there is a sky city called Zalem, 300 years after the Earth was destroyed by the catastrophic conflict known as the Fall. While searching for parts in the huge iron metropolis junkyard below the Sky City, scientist Dr. Disin Ido comes across a disembodied female cyborg with a healthy human brain. He decides to bring the cyborg home to fix her. Dr. Disin connects a new robotic body to the brain at home. The cyborg wakes up a few days later and is shocked to find her new body. She heads downstairs right away to meet Dr. Disin, who has just concluded free repairs for the neighboring cyborgs. Dr. Dason then extends an invitation to the cyborg to join them for dinner. The cyborg is discovered that she is unable to recall her past and to have forgotten her own name as they are eating. She is asked to look around by Dr. Dason. When the cyborg first sees Zalem flying above the clouds, she is immediately in amazement. Then, Dr. Dason gives her the name Alita in honor of his late daughter. He says that Zalem's technological trash is the main source of human scavenging, which is why Iron City was established. Iron City is similarly controlled by Zalem officials, and the only way to join Zalem is to win the motorball, a game of racing that cyborg gladiators play similar to rollerball. Hugo, a young guy with aspirations of relocating to the prosperous Sky City of Zalem, becomes her friend afterwards. Alita's cyborg physique impresses him because everyone in the city praises Dr. Dason. On the other hand, it appears that Alita currently also likes Hugo. A woman is seen alone in the corridor at night. Suddenly, she is fatally attacked from behind by what appears to be a robot. Alita awakens from her sleep at the same moment and stares at Dr. Dason, who has just arrived home with a wound on his hand. Alita joins Dr. Dason and his helper the following day as they work to fix a cyborg. The cyborg speaks about the murder that occurred last night. According to him, the murderer chopped the victim's body to sell. Dr. Dason encourages Alita to stay inside at night because Iron City is a highly dangerous place. As Alita comes out of her residence, she encounters Chire, who recognizes Alita's cyborg body. She was reportedly Dr. Dason's estranged ex-wife. Chire had always wanted to visit Zalem, thanks to Vector, the owner of the motorball competition. In order to win the motorball, she convinces Dr. Dason to collaborate with her to construct the best cyborg. He rejects the reasoning, nevertheless. Chire immediately leaves him and hops into a car having Vector in it. In the meantime, Alita and Hugo enjoy a game of motorball with their friends. She finds playing the game challenging at first, but she ultimately becomes accustomed to it and is able to win. She receives a chocolate gift from Hugo. Then, in order to get a good look at Zalem, he brings her to his favorite location atop a historic church. Alita also claims that Dr. Dason discovered her in the junkyard beneath Zalem, indicating that she may be a native of that city, though she is still unable to recall anything about it. Alita can't sleep one night when she sees Dr. Dason silently leaving the house while carrying a large sizable luggage. She decides to follow him to find out where he is going in the middle of the night. Shortly after, Alita sees him taking out his weapon from the suitcase to ambush a woman who is walking alone. Because of that, Alita immediately stops him from committing murder, causing the woman to disappear somewhere. Suddenly, a large man appears from behind and he calls Dr. Dason a hunter warrior, which confuses Alita even more. After that, another man jumps down from the rooftop and begins threatening the two of them. Turns out they are a gang of criminal cyborgs who like to kill humans, including the woman who disappeared earlier. The cyborg is attacked by Dr. Dason, who manages to slice open one of his limbs. However, the cyborg quickly responds, knocking Dr. Dason to the ground. Amazingly, Alita leaps in his direction and kicks him to the ground, ultimately killing him. The female cyborg is about to use her blades to assault Alita at this moment. Alita finally succeeds in stepping in front of the cyborg and kicking her in the head, breaking her neck as her body falls to the ground. After finally stating his identity as Grevishka, the huge man attempts to hit Alita with great strength. But then again, Alita is able to dodge it and cuts off the cyborg's arm in a single kick. Alita uses Dr. Dason's hammer to smash the gigantic cyborg back, forcing him to flee into the sewers. Alita then travels to the factory with Dr. Dason. In Iron City, he explains, there are no police, instead, the factory hires bounty hunters to execute criminals. She then questions Dr. Dason's motivation for taking on the role of bounty hunter, but he responds by explaining that his daughter was murdered by the dangerous criminal. Since then, he has been looking for the person who killed his daughter. His wife Tire abandoned their marriage because of his willingness to exact revenge on his daughter. When Tire wakes up from her bed, suddenly Gravishka breaks into her room through the window. It turns out that he works for Tire and also Vector. Gravishka reports that Dr. Dason has adopted a cyborg girl and she is responsible for killing his entire team. Tire tries to repair Gravishka straight away, but at the same time he is controlled by another great power who speaks through him to Tire and Vector. Vector immediately recognizes the power as Nova, a powerful figure from Zalem, who orders them to kill Alita and bring her body for experimentation. Nova also has control over Vector and assures Tire that if she follows precisely what he says in the future, he will return her to Zalem. Alita and Hugo, meantime, travel to the motorball to watch the fighters in the ring use their unique talents to destroy one another in order to get the ball. She also discovers that a fighter has the opportunity to visit Zalem if they win all of their fights and become the ultimate champion. Hugo's friends enter the room in the middle of their talk and abruptly announce that they need to get to work right away. Hugo bids Alita farewell and then quickly departs. After some time, a bunch of men attack one of the motorball champions, take him hostage inside the car, and forcefully cut away his hand. Hugo is revealed to be the group's commander, and he also works for Vector, supplying weapons in exchange for cash. In order to prevent anyone else from becoming the last champion, the group leaves the champion's corpse with Vector and kills him in the end. The next day, Alita is taken from Iron City to a lake in front of a massive warship by Hugo and his friends. The battleship is actually from the United Republic of Mars, which attacked Earth 300 years ago. On the other hand, Alita feels a sudden connection towards the warship and tries to go inside, hoping it may reveal the truth about her past. She arrives at the weapon room where she finds a highly advanced cyborg body. She decides to bring the body towards Dr. Dason. She wants him to combine her with the new body because it will allow her to fight off the impending threats. However, Dr. Dason refuses to install her in it. As the result, Alita feels frustrated, and she registers herself as a hunter warrior. At the Kansas bar where all the hunters are gathered, Alita and Hugo are unable to recruit other hunter warriors to help her take down Gravishka. However, a cyborg hunter warrior bully named Japan provokes Alita. Therefore, she severely beats him in a fight, triggering a chaotic bar brawl. Luckily, Dr. Dason arrives at the bar and stops everyone by threatening to not give out any free repairs. Suddenly, an upgraded Gravishka appears and challenges Alita to a duel, revealing that he has been sent by Nova to destroy her. Despite her excellent combat skills, Alita's body is ultimately damaged by Gravishka. Fortunately, Dr. Dason and his team arrives just in time, forcing Gravishka to retreat again. Dr. Dason takes Alita back to the laboratory. He apologizes before implanting her into the new cyborg body. The results are better than predicted, as Alita exhibits extraordinary powers after equipping the new body, as Dr. Dason monitors. Meanwhile, Nova takes Vector once more to observe Gravishka's failure to beat Alita. He decides to employ a new strategy against her. Following that, Vector meets with Hugo and inquires about Alita, promising to transfer him to Zalem if he can persuade Alita to join Motorball. Hugo persuades Alita to join Motorball the next day, claiming that she may make enough money for the two of them to travel to Zalem. Alita agrees without thinking as she has fallen in love with him. On the other side, Japan is watching them from afar because he wants revenge for what she did earlier. At night, Alita prepares to join the tryouts with the help of Dr. Dason tells her to be careful in the tournament. At the same time, Vector tells other fighters to destroy Alita and promises to give them a large amount of money for the killer. When Alita arrives at the stadium, she realizes something is wrong about the other fighters. She rushes away from the others as they begin to attack her and chase her from behind. Fortunately, she is able to dodge the attacks and incapacitate several fighters. However, they keep chasing after her, ignoring the entire game. Meanwhile, Hugo's relationship with Alita leads him to decide to quit his criminal job. He confronts his partner to stop killing people, but unfortunately Japan appears and wants to kill him in order to take vengeance on Alita. He kills one of the cyborgs and frames Hugo for the murder of another cyborg. Hugo desperately tries to escape from Japan and finally arrives inside a bridge. He calls Alita for help, telling her that he runs away to the church and asks her to meet him there. When Alita hears this, she rushes from the stadium while being pursued by the other warriors. In the end, Alita manages to flee her attackers and reaches the chapel just in time. She promptly stops Japan from killing Hugo, but she is taken aback when she notices a bounty on Hugo's head. Hugo tries to explain why he was framed, but Alita refuses to forgive him. Taking advantage of the situation, Japan stabs Hugo in the stomach, forcing Alita to cry and carry him into the chapel. Hugo regrets all he did since he knows he loves Alita more than he wants to go to Zalem. Meanwhile, Chire, who has stopped working for Vector, arrives at the church and offers to save Hugo by connecting his severed head to Alita's life support system. Alita appears a few moments later, bearing Hugo's head. When Japan realizes the ruse and tries to stop Alita, she seizes his blade and injures him in the face. Back in Dr. Dason's place, he transplants Hugo's head onto a cybernetic body and informs Alita that Vector's offer to assist Hugo in reaching Zalem was a deception. He believes that Iron City residents cannot join Zalem without first becoming a motorball champion. Alita quickly storms the factory and confronts Vector. He summons Gravishka right away to block Alita's attacks, but her new nanotech body enables her to self-repair and quickly crush him. Following that, she demands Vector to show her to Nova. Alita then kills Vector in rage because Nova threatens to hurt her family and friends. After some time has passed, she receives a communication from Dr. Dason informing her that Hugo has fled to climb a cargo tube towards Zalem. Alita instantly runs into him and begs him to return with her because this is a trap Nova has laid for both of them. He eventually agrees, but it is too late as a serrated defense ring dropped by Nova races towards them. He attempts to jump over the ring, but it shreds his body and knocks him off the tube. Alita catches him in the act, but she is unable to pull him up as his arm begins to break. Hugo expresses gratitude to her for saving his life before collapsing to his death. Alita continues to participate in motorball months after Hugo's death, becoming a rising star in the tournament. She walks up to the stage, where everyone is cheering for her name, and swears revenge by pointing her plasma-charged sword at Zalem, prompting Nova to glance back from above. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and click on like to help the channel out. Thank you and take care.